The fork stopped halfway to my mouth, and for one reckless second, I forgot how to breathe. Maya stood in the hallway wearing the dress she'd bought that afternoon, watching me stare. Then she tilted her head, smiled, and said, "Want a closer look?" Some moments change because of what we say. Others change because we stay silent 1 second too long. Ethan had shared an apartment with Maya for 11 months, long enough to know her coffee order, her terrible habit of singing off-key while cooking, and the exact expression she made before delivering a joke. But he had never known what to do with the strange quiet that sometimes appeared between them. The night Maya asked about her new dress, that quiet suddenly felt louder than anything else. Before we begin, if you enjoy emotional and inspiring stories like this, make sure to support the channel by liking this video, subscribing, and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us bring more powerful stories of kindness, hope, and humanity. Ethan and Maya had become roommates by accident. A mutual friend had introduced them when both were desperate to leave expensive apartments. Ethan worked long hours as a junior architect, careful with money and even more careful with people. Maya taught art classes at a community center, arrived home with paint on her sleeves, and could start conversations with strangers in grocery lines. She called him Professor because he overthought everything. He called her Hurricane because every room looked different after she entered it. Still, there were rules neither of them had written down. No borrowing clothes without asking. No reading private messages. No bringing dates home unless the other knew. And, somehow, no admitting that friendship had begun to feel dangerous. The dress appeared on a rainy Thursday. Maya came home carrying a small shopping bag and dropped it on the couch. "Emergency," she announced. Ethan looked up from his laptop. "Is the building on fire?" "Worse. My cousin's engagement dinner is Saturday, and apparently I own nothing elegant." "You own approximately 17 jackets. Those are emotional support jackets." He laughed. "That explains a lot." She pointed at him. "I'm changing." "You're giving an honest opinion." "That sounds like a trap." "It is." "Wait here." 10 minutes later, Ethan sat at the kitchen counter eating leftover noodles while pretending to study a blueprint. He heard her bedroom door open, followed by bare footsteps on the wooden floor. He looked up automatically. Maya had chosen a simple deep blue dress, elegant without trying too hard. Her hair was pinned loosely, with a few strands framing her face. She stopped in the doorway, one hand resting against the frame. "Well?" she asked. Ethan opened his mouth. Nothing came out. He had seen Maya exhausted, furious, laughing until she cried, wearing paint-splattered overalls and oversized sweaters. Yet something about seeing her stand there, suddenly nervous beneath her playful confidence, stole every prepared word from him. Maya's eyebrows lifted. "Professor." "You look," he swallowed. Her smile softened. "That bad?" "No," his answer came too quickly. "No. Not bad." "Then." He stared. It was only a few seconds. Maybe 5. Maybe 8. Long enough for the fork in his hand to stop moving. Long enough for Maya's teasing expression to change. Then she stepped closer. "Want a closer look?" she asked. The question landed between them like a match near dry paper. Ethan set down the fork. "Maya." "What?" she said, though her voice had lost some of its usual mischief. "You look beautiful." For once, she had no immediate reply. A car passed outside, tires hissing through rainwater. Somewhere upstairs, a child laughed. Inside the apartment, neither moved. Then Maya exhaled and looked toward the window. "Okay. That's actually all I wanted to know." Ethan felt relief and disappointment arrive together. "You asked for honesty." "I know." She turned slowly. "Do you think it's too much for a family dinner?" "No." "Too fitted?" "No." "Too blue?" He almost smiled. "Maya." "What?" "You're fishing." "For what?" He stood, suddenly tired of pretending he did not understand. "For me to say it again." Her cheeks colored. That surprised him more than the dress. She looked down at the floor. "Maybe." Before he could answer, her phone rang. She glanced at the screen and her face changed. The warmth disappeared. "It's my sister," she said. She answered and walked into the living room. Ethan could hear only fragments. "No, I'm not bringing anyone." Mom asked that again. "I know he'll be there." Her shoulders tightened. Ethan quietly put his fork down. When the call ended, Maya stood with her back to him. "You don't have to talk about it," he said. She gave a short laugh. "That's usually your line." "I'm learning." She turned. Her eyes were bright, but not with tears. More like anger she was trying to keep folded neatly inside. "My cousin invited my ex." Ethan knew almost nothing about him except his name, Daniel, and the fact that Maya never said it without becoming quieter. "I thought you said you were over him." "I am." "Then why do you look like you want to throw your phone through a wall?" "Because being over someone doesn't mean you enjoy being reminded of how stupid you felt." Ethan leaned against the counter. "You weren't stupid. You didn't know me then. I know you now." That seemed to hurt her more. Maya walked to the sink and touched the edge of the counter. "Daniel used to tell me I was too much. Too loud. Too emotional. Too friendly. When he proposed, I thought it meant he finally accepted all of me." She gave a humorless smile. 3 months later, I found out he was already planning a different life with someone else. Ethan said nothing. "Since then, every time I walk into a room where he might be, I become 25 again. I start wondering if everyone can see the part of me that wasn't enough." Ethan's jaw tightened. "Maya, that dress isn't the reason you look beautiful." She glanced back. "It's just making it harder for me to pretend I haven't noticed." The words hung there. This time, Maya did not smile. "Ethan," she whispered. He wished he could take the fear out of her eyes, but he knew fear was not something another person could simply remove. So he told the truth. "I like you." Her breath caught. "I've liked you for a while. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to ruin this. You're my best friend." Maya's eyes closed for 1 second. Then she opened them and said, "That's the problem." His stomach dropped. She looked miserable immediately. "No, not like that. I mean, I like you too. And I've been trying not to. Because if this goes wrong, I lose the person who knows where I keep the emergency chocolate." Despite himself, he laughed. She laughed too, but it broke halfway through. "See," she said. "This is exactly why it's terrifying." Neither kissed. Neither made a promise. Maya changed out of the dress, and Ethan spent the rest of Thursday pretending his heart was not beating differently. By Saturday afternoon, Ethan could not stand it. He found Maya sitting on the balcony in sweatpants, staring at the engagement dinner invitation. "Are you going?" he asked. "I have to." "You don't have to. My cousin has been kind to me." "Then go for her." Maya nodded. He hesitated. "Do you want company?" She looked up. "Are you volunteering?" "I'm offering. That dinner is going to be full of my relatives asking why I'm single. I've survived client meetings with billionaires. I can survive your aunties." A real smile appeared. "That confident?" "No." She laughed. Ethan sat beside her. "Maya, I don't want to be your shield if you don't want one. And I don't want to pretend we're something we haven't decided to be. But you don't have to walk into that room alone." Her expression softened. "Okay," she said. Then Daniel arrived. Ethan recognized him from one photograph Maya once showed him before quickly changing the subject. Daniel was polished, handsome, and wearing the kind of smile that seemed practiced in mirrors. He walked straight toward Maya. "Maya," he said. She stood. "Daniel. You look great." "Thank you." His eyes shifted to Ethan. "And this?" "Ethan," Maya said. "My roommate." Daniel shook his hand. "I've heard about you." Ethan noticed Maya's fingers tighten around her glass. "Good things, I hope," Ethan said. Daniel smiled. "She says you're very dependable." The words sounded harmless. Somehow, it wasn't. Maya stepped away toward the hallway. Ethan followed after waiting a few seconds. She was standing near the restroom, staring at the floor. You okay? Perfect. Lie. She looked at him. He still does that. Does what? Makes everything sound like a compliment until I feel smaller. Ethan took a breath. Do you want to leave? Her chin lifted. No. Then don't. Back at the table, Daniel eventually sat across from them. Conversation turned to careers, travel, weddings, plans. Someone asked Maya whether she was seeing anyone. Before she could answer, Daniel laughed lightly. Maya doesn't need relationships. She collects projects. The table went quiet. Maya smiled, but Ethan saw the old wound opening behind it. Then she placed her hand on the table. Not on Ethan's. Beside it. A question without words. Ethan looked at her. She moved her hand closer. He covered it with his own. Maya turned toward Daniel. I used to think people were projects, she said calmly. Mostly because I kept trying to fix the parts of myself that made other people uncomfortable. Daniel's smile faded. But I'm done doing that. Her fingers tightened around Ethan's. And for the record, I'm not difficult to love. I was just asking the wrong person to try. No one spoke for a moment. Then Maya's cousin, the bride-to-be, reached across the table and squeezed her shoulder. Ethan did not feel triumphant. He felt proud. Later, outside the restaurant, rain had stopped. The pavement shone beneath the streetlights. Maya stood beneath the awning, breathing deeply. I think I just ended a relationship that ended 2 years ago, she said. Ethan smiled. Better late than never. She looked at him. Did you mean what you said Thursday? Every clever answer vanished. Yes. All of it. Yes. Maya stepped closer. This time, when she asked, want a closer look, her voice was soft, almost nervous. Ethan smiled. I think I've been looking from too far away for a long time. She kissed him then, gently, without urgency, and when they pulled apart, both of them laughed because neither knew what came next. And Ethan realized love did not always arrive with music, certainty, or perfect timing. Sometimes it began with friendship, survived silence, and grew because two people finally chose honesty over fear. If you've ever been afraid to tell someone how you truly felt, share your thoughts or your own experience in the comments. And if this story touched your heart, please like the video and subscribe for more stories about kindness, hope, courage, compassion, and humanity. Neither of them knew whether the future would be easy, but they knew something better. When fear returned, they would face it together, with honest words, open hands, and the courage to stay. That evening, Maya stood in the hallway wearing the blue dress again. Ethan looked up. She folded her arms. Well. This time, he did not stare too long. You look beautiful, he said. Maya smiled. Want a closer look? He stood. Always. And somewhere between the open kitchen, the cooling coffee, and the laughter they had spent months pretending meant nothing, two people learned that the greatest risk is not always loving someone. Sometimes, the greatest risk is letting fear convince you that honesty will destroy what matters, when honesty may be the very thing that finally brings it to life.